Hi there, welcome back to Skits and Quibbles Takeover Week 2. I'm Ashley Alymann and I'm going to be cooking for you. Today, I'll be doing salmon with some quinoa salad. I thought we'd do something healthy today. But before we get into that, here's Mike Grant with his yummy Bahama Mama.
Now, this cocktail is really important to me because it's the first cocktail I ever learned in my life. So yeah, it's really good to make it. There's a little bit of a twist on it for today, just to make it easy for you guys to make at home. But yeah, here goes. So what you want to do is grab a glass and just obviously fill it up with some ice. Probably about 3/4 of the way up to the glass, leaving room for any extra stuff that you need. Put that in. Okay, so pop that there. Now, what we need is some rum. So some rum here, a bit behind the back there. Okay, I'm going to free pour it into here. So probably about 1/4 ounce into there. Quite a lot of rum. And then 150 orange juice as well. So if we use the jigger, this jigger is a 50ml jigger. So obviously if we do 3 lots of that, that will add up to 150. Okay. There we go. Next thing we need to put in is some coconut syrup, because obviously it's in Bahama, so we need to make it a bit tropical. So let's whack some syrup into there. Some cream, sorry. Straight in. That should be enough. And next we're going to put some grenadine, just for the colour as well, just to give it a bit of a tropical look. So I'm going to free pour this and probably just put a few drops in there. And then also some simple syrup. So this is homemade as well. So this is usually you'd use gum or it's called simple syrup. So it's just sugar water basically. So I'm just going to free pour that in as well. Bit of a long one there. Pop that in and get some ice in there to keep it cool and to shake it up. That should be enough. Okay. Obviously this is the fun part. So pop this on, shake it up. Try not to get it all over you. And as you can see the colour inside. I'm going to free pour it again into the glass, just like that. Look at that colour, beautiful. Bit more. Lovely. Okay, and now to garnish, a little orange slice just to make it look pretty. And you know what? I'm also going to put an umbrella on it just to make it tropical as well. So look at that. And there you go, Bahama Mama.
So the first thing we're going to do is just quickly blanch some fine green beans. Just a minute or two, if that. You want it nice and crunchy, but you want it just changing color. So into a pot of boiling water. There goes my beans. Right. And just give it a few seconds and you'll see it change color. I like it crunchy. I don't like it soft and overcooked. Because you want to keep it fresh. And any second now, I can take it out. Look, it's looking good, it's looking good. Ah, it's nearly there. Just 10 more seconds. And this way it just retains the crunchiness and the freshness of the green beans, because otherwise, you know, it's cooked. And that's it, done. Fire off. Green beans out and straight into a bowl of cold water, and that will just stop the cooking process. Once it's cooled down, just take it out just for a while and just dry it off, and it's done. How easy is that? Nice and Emerald-esque. That's not a word, is it? Okay, we're going to let that drain. Next, we're going to start with the quinoa. There are many different ways of cooking quinoa. You can just cook it normally like you cook rice. That's how I do it. Or you could flavor it while you cook it. Today I'm doing it fairly simple. I'm just going to fry a little bit of shallots and some quinoa, and because I'm going to be putting some fresh herbs in it later. and make it fresh and nice. But really, it's so versatile, and you can do whatever you like. So first, I am going to heat up some oil. I've just got some olive oil here, about 2-3 tablespoons. You just gauge and see how much you want. I think, yeah, that's enough. The oil's beginning to heat up. You can see it's dancing, it's moving about. I'm just going to reduce the heat down a bit because I don't want the shallots to burn. I want it to saute and develop its flavor slowly. Okay, now you can see the oil is very hot. You can see it's smoking. Shallots. Nice. That's done. Okay, that's just a little bit hot. I'm just going to get it off the heat a little bit and just let it sweat. Let it do its thing. While it's doing its thing, I'm just going to let it heat up. I'm going to wash the quinoa. Very simple. Just wash it in some under the tap. But it's very, very fine. It's like how you wash rice, really. It's very, very fine. So I use a little sieve and just sieve it out. Pop it back in and do it again. Just another time. And you see it's coming, it's quite clear. Just watch my shallots are not burning, and one more time. Nice. Okay, that's done. This off. And now we're just going to pop this into the pot. Very quick. With the shallots, that's frying nicely in there. Get it all in. You don't want to waste it. This is really good. Quinoa used to be very, very popular a few years ago. I think it was considered a superfood, which is good. It's great. It's good carbs. It's a seed. It's not a grain. So it's gluten free and it's very healthy for you because it's also got a fairly high protein content. So what I do is I've got a cup of quinoa there, and I'm just going to put a cup and a splash of water into it. I always find that if it's too much water, it gets very stodgy. But if it's too little water, you can always add in and it'll cook. But once it becomes stodgy with too much water, you can't really do anything with it. But it's very much like how I cook my rice, a cup to a cup and a splash of water. Bring the heat up. Get all the grains in. Bring the heat up. And pretty much like how I cook my rice in a pot. Bring it to a boil. Bring the heat right down. Give it a tiny stir. Cover it and let it do its thing. And before you know it, the quinoa will be cooked. And let's give it a little stir so nothing's catching at the bottom. And then just cover it and let it cook for about 20 minutes. And then it'll be done. While we're waiting for this to cook, here's Mike Grant with a Virgin Pina Colada.
Okay, so the next mocktail that I'm going to show you is the Virgin Pina Colada. So normal Pina Colada is quite popular. The Virgin Pina Colada is quite a nice substitute for anybody who doesn't want any alcohol in it. So what I'm going to do is do a blended version. It can come as on the rocks, so over ice, but I think it tastes better blended. So got the blender here. The first thing you do with the blender is pop your ice in, okay? What you need to usually have, is about 1.5 scoops. So as I've got my tongs, I'm just going to put a few cubes of ice into the blender. Oops, one escapes, that's fine. Just like that. That should be enough in there, okay? So everything we're going to do is going straight into the blender. So the next thing is we need some pineapple rings as well. So if I just grab a tong, I'm going to put about, usually they say about 2 to 3, okay? So I'm going to put 2 because these are quite huge ones actually. So let's pop that in there, okay? And then we're going to do some pineapple juice, clearly. So let's pop some of that in there, nice and tropical. Blend that in. And then we've got to put some lime juice as well to give it that sharpness. So maybe just the end of that. That's finished, but that's right about enough. Okay, and then also I'm going to put the main ingredient, which is the coconut cream as well. So what I'm going to do is just scrape some of that inside, just like that. Get nice. So it's probably about 2 spoonfuls, I'd say, okay? Right, so now's the time to blend it up. It gets a bit noisy, so here goes. And as you can see, we try and get the consistency and get it quite thick because you don't want it too runny, okay? So let that blend. Ooh. That looks pretty good. So if it's not too thick, what you can do is add a little bit more ice in as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So with the pina colada, it's quite trial and error with the ice, depending on the size of the ice cubes as well. So if I pop it back on again, that should thicken it up a bit. Get your glass ready, get your garnish ready, get your straw ready as well, okay? That's looking a lot better now. Excellent. So as you can see, it's quite thick in there, okay? So what we're going to do is just pour in. I've probably got a double amount in here, but it's okay because it's a virgin one. More for myself. Pop that in. There we go. There we go. Look at that. So that looks quite good. And then what I'm going to do is garnish it with a pineapple, probably bend it like that, squeeze it on, give it a bit of design, and then I'm also going to put a mint sprig on there as well, just to make it look nice. Okay, and there you go. Got your virgin pina colada.
Right, it's been cooking for about 15 minutes. I'm just going to check to see if the water's all absorbed and if it's nice and fluffy. Here we go. Moment of truth. Voila. Ah, it's looking good. As you can see, the little tail has split open, so that's quite cooked. And I like to use a chopstick just to fluff it up. You see, all that water has been absorbed. See, that's perfect. Yeah, it smells really good as well. And that's done. That's done. That's only taken about 15 minutes. Perfect! Haha! Good. Right, now let's prep the salmon. Very simple. I'm just doing a mustard and honey topping with some garlic. So let's do the topping. Here's a little bit of honey, maybe about a tablespoon or less. Maybe about a teaspoon. If you like it sweet, there's no hard and fast rule. If you like it sweet, put more. If you don't, put less. Just plain old simple mustard. Maybe about a tablespoon. And I've just got 2 roughly chopped cloves of garlic here. I mean, how bad can that be, garlic? Keep the vampires away. I like my garlic. Right. Just give it a little mix so it all combines nicely together. And there you have it. That's done. Done, done, done. Get rid of this out of the way. Now, I'm going to pop it into the oven, so I'm just going to have a little oven-proof. I've just got a glass dish, it's oven-proof. I'm just going to rub some butter on the base so that it doesn't stick too much. The skin doesn't catch. Now, if you want your salmon skinless, it's absolutely fine. You can. I prefer mine with the skin because I quite like the skin, and also it just protects the fish a little better. But if you don't like the skin, you can have it skinless or you can take it off. So just roughly, and use your clean hands, butter the dish. Nice, easy peasy. And I've got 2 pieces of salmon here. It's been cleaned. And I'm just going to lay it in the dish, just like so. And then just spread the topping that we've made. Have a nice coating over it. Because this is flavor. Flavor. Now, salmon is a very strong flavored fish. So it can take a multitude of flavors. I've done it with curry powder, I've done it with chili, I've done it with tomato puree, and like a tomato paste with herbs. It's just very versatile, and it's good for you because you've got all the lovely, good essential oils. There you go. Coat this all nicely. All that is flavor, so no wasting. All right, this is home cook. Home cook, you scrape everything out. If you're in a restaurant, then maybe you don't. But we're at home. And then just a little sprinkling of salt. Everything is better with a bit of salt. There we go. And finally, a little bit more butter. Just on the top. Don't tell my doctor. Oh, she's not going to see this, is she? I hope not. So we're just going to... I'm sorry! I like my butter! Okay, that's it. That's it. And there you have it. That's done. And then that will go into the oven at gas mark 160 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes, and it will come out perfect. Right, we've done the quinoa, it's cooling down. We've prepped the salmon. Now, I'm just going to do a little bit of roasted vine tomatoes to go with it. It's lovely. When it's cooked, it's sweet, it's soft, it's succulent, and it's very simple to do. So first, I've got some little tomatoes here. I've washed them and cleaned them. I like leaving some of the stalks on because I like the smell when it's roasting. It's beautiful. Right, so let's prep it. First things first, a little bit of olive oil. There we go. Nicely drenched. I've got here a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper. That's nice. And I've just got some dried oregano. This will just perfume it so beautifully and also flavor it. I've only got about half a teaspoon of it. If you're doing more, you could add more. And of course, salt. A good pinch or 2 of salt. Now give that a little rub around. Coats it nicely. I've got a little tray here, just lined with foil, and I'm just going to drop it in. And this, don't forget this, just rub it all out and sprinkle it all out, because this is what's going to add to the flavor. No waste. And then this goes into the same oven with the salmon for about 20 minutes or so. When it's nice and plump and juicy and cooked, it'll be ready. Now to put this into the oven, I've got a preheated oven at 160 degrees Celsius. Just pop that in together with the tomatoes. That will net very nice. And we're going to leave that in there for 20 minutes. So while we're waiting for this to cook, here's Mike Grant with a delicious Berry Basil Blast.
Okay, so the next drink we're going to make is a mocktail called the Berry Basil. Now what you want to do is get a glass and fill it with ice. What you do is just fill it to the top, make sure it's nice and cold. Okay. There we go. And we're also going to put some ice in the tin. So you want to shake that tin, make it nice and cool as well. So now what we've got here, what I made earlier, is some mixed berries and some palm sugar, okay? So this is obviously going to sweeten up the berries. So what you want to do is put it in the blender with the palm sugar, blend it up, and it should come out something like this. Okay, so what I would say, you can do it either way. I would probably just do a few spoonfuls, but you want to probably do about 50 ml, okay? So if I do maybe about 3 or 4, lots in here. There we go. That's in there. And then what I'm going to do is put some sugar syrup again in it, just to kind of sweeten it up and water it down. So 3/4 in there, and then shake it up again. There we go. Give it a shake. There we go. Round the back. And I'm just going to pour that into the glass, just like that. There we go. Look at that colour. Beautiful. You can put the remaining ice in there as well, and as you can see, it's gone about 3/4 the way up to the top of the glass as well. Now, this is green tea that I brewed a day before. You don't have to do it a day before, but this is what I've done just to make it nice and settled. So what we're going to do is just pour that onto the top, just to mix with the berries as well. Look at that. Ooh. And then what we're going to do is just garnish it with a bit of basil. Love the smell of basil. Just on the top like that. Okay, and then pop the straw in. And there you go. We've got the berry basil. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, I am Sinead from Bredar. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. Please join me in my Power Hour every Sunday, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on E360 TV. Mwah!
So the last thing we need to do is just finish prepping the quinoa. It's cooled down now. You can see it's fairly dry. It's nice and cooked. And very simple. I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice. This is just freshly squeezed lemon. Maybe about 1/4 cup. You can always add more if you like. This is just some chopped mint leaves and some chopped chives. Flavor, fresh herbs, always nice with quinoa. And then always some salt. See, I didn't salt the quinoa when I cooked it because I'm going to add salt now. Give it a good stir. Let all that flavor mix in. And then lastly, just add in our blanched fine beans. Oops, made a mess. What's cooking without mess, right? You've got to have mess, otherwise you're like a robot. We're not robots. We're people, and we want to eat because we're hungry. And there you have it, done. Finish, finish, finish. Once the tomatoes and the fish is cooked, we can sit and eat.
Oh my goodness. This looks and smells amazing. Oh, beautiful.
It's hot.
Oh, I can smell the vine. I know what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, it's all the smells, you know. I can smell the mustard and the butter.
Yes.
Well. Love it.
Right, so help yourself.
Thank you.
So here you go.
Okay.
Help yourself with some quinoa.
It's so fluffy. Oops, making a mess. Sorry.
We're human beings. We make mess.
That is true. That is true.
We can't eat without making a mess.
A little bit more. Yeah, I'm not even at the eating bit yet.
No. I'm going to have this now.
Now, can you eat the vine?
No, you can't really eat the vine because it's quite fibrous.
Right. It's just there for the...
Yeah, it's there. It's sort of, you can see it helps with the integrity, but I like to cook it because I think it does impart some flavor, some aroma, some flavor. And it's good. Good. Come, have some fish. Can I help you?
That's lovely. Oh, thank you. Oh, the tomatoes are beautiful.
It's lovely like this. A bit of the buttery. Voila.
It's lovely to try everything just on its own as well, because you get all the flavours coming through. Now these are those crunchy beans.
Yes.
The lemon.
Does it come up? Good. Oh, if you need salt and pepper,
Thank you. No, this is seasoned so beautifully.
Have some seasoning if you need some more.
And I'll try a little bit of the salmon on its own with its lovely dressing.
Is it good?
That's beautiful. It's not overpowering. The dressing is just
good.
Really perfect. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. And I like the skin on as well.
I do. I like the skin on, and also under the skin, there's all the fat, and that's flavor. Flavor. It keeps the fish moist.
Yeah.
And isn't it all the lovely omega stuff?
Yes.
The salmon. And I love it. I like that bit of this of the fish.
This is absolutely incredible. Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
It's just such a pleasure having you here. Right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little soiree with me and Audrey. I hope you get to try this one day. Do try it. It's easy, it's nice. But while we are finishing all this food, here's Mike again with his lovely lychee Mai Tai.
Hi again. So the next cocktail I'm going to make is the Lychee Mai Tai. So Mai Tai is a nice classic cocktail. This one I'm going to use with lychee, so it's a nice twist on it. So what you're going to do is get your glass ready, and we're going to rim the glass, okay? So what you need to do is, I've got a plate here, so I'm going to hold it up, and you've got some sugar syrup as well. So what you want to do is just put some sugar syrup all around the edge of the glass, just like this. Circle it all around. And then you want to put it into the sugar and slightly dab it around. As you can see, it's coming around the glass nice and slowly, just like that. So it is sometimes quite time consuming, but if you've got experience and you're quick, it should come out something like this, okay? So what we want to do as well, we want to chill the glass as well. So I'm going to pop it on top here so you can see. And I'm going to put some ice cube, maybe just a block in there, just to keep the glass nice and cool, okay? All right, so the next one, we're going to use rum again, because this is in the Mai Tai, dark rum. So I'm going to free pour again. That's 1 1/4 ounce, just like that. And then this time we're going to use some triple sec. So triple sec is a orange liqueur, okay? So I'm going to put 25 milliliters inside of that. So this cocktail is quite short, as you can see, but it's very, very strong. So you want to take your time with this one as well. Okay, so pop that one there. Now we need some lychee syrup as well. So we're going to put about 100 ml in there. So I'm going to pour that in there. I love lychee. Lychee is beautiful, beautiful juice. Okay, so 50 and 50. Bam, there you go. Okay, and then some sugar syrup just to sweeten it up a bit, to take the sharpness away. So I'm going to put about 3/4 ounce in there. Okay, shake that up. Put some ice. Don't forget the ice, keeps it cool. We can even throw that ice in here as well, just like that. Okay, throw that in, shake it up. So when you shake it, you can start to feel the glass in the tin getting quite cold. That's when you know it's ready. Okay. Also, just to let people know as well, if you can't take it off the side, you see where the slant is, give it a tap, and then that should take it off nice and easy, just like that, okay? So, now we're going to pour it into the glass. Okay, and there you go. The Lychee Mai Tai. Enjoy.
Hi there, here are my top tips for the week. Let's talk about sugar substitute. Sometimes you need to be a bit careful with your sugar intake, and there are lots of things out there which you can substitute it with. Sorry.
That's okay.
If you're looking to substitute your sugar, there are other products out there which can be just as nice and just as good. Of course, excuse me. Of course, there are lots of artificial sweeteners. I'm not altogether happy with them because, to me, rather than just being chemicals, they also have a lot of aftertaste. Not all, but most of them do, and it spoils the cooking for me. Although I use xylitol quite a bit, and I find that is the closest artificial. Well, it's not really artificial. Xylitol is made from birch, but still it's processed. But that's the closest to sugar I find amongst all the other artificial sweeteners. It cooks well. It doesn't impart that horrible bitter aftertaste. The only thing that I found with xylitol is that it is endothermic. So if you're baking with it, be extra careful, especially if you're doing the creaming method, which is creaming the butter and the sugar together. That doesn't work very well because it just chills the butter. Somehow the butter gets really cold and it all curdles. There are ways of getting around that, of like heating your bowl up, having a warm towel around your bowl. But there are ways that you need to look for to use that. But if your cake does not call for the creaming method, then it's fine. For example, if you're using an oil-based cake. And then that works perfectly. I do a very good chocolate cake, a sugar-free chocolate cake with xylitol, which works excellently well. That's one. And then you have lots of liquid sweeteners. You've got your honeys, you've got your agaves, you've got your date syrup, which is also very good. You've got your maple syrup. And if you're looking at these different syrups, they've got a lower sugar content than sugar. So maple syrup and date syrup, for example, they might contain maybe 60 to 70% of sugar in it. And they're nice. They're nice in, for example, if you're doing a pudding, or even if you're doing something savory and it needs a sugar element in it, and it mixes very well. They are of course more expensive than sugar, but they work. And the thing is to look for one which works for you. I like maple syrup, but it's quite expensive, so I don't use it very often. I use agave more often than maple because it's more affordable. Date syrup date molasses date syrup is also very good. It's quite easily available, but again, it's more expensive. And of course, you've got the staple honey. You can use honey, not in everything, but honey is a good sugar substitute. I hope that works for you. Try, experiment, enjoy. Have a sugar-free week.